Hey guys, welcome back to Kerns Korner. In this week's episode, there's a thunderstorm going on while I'm filming. So if you hear any rain, or booms, or claps, or just stomps from heaven above, ignore them because I can't really help them. Today's opening segment is actually not going to be something that's very amusing or funny. I actually have had a similar conversation between like 5 different people over the past week, and so it's something just I kind of wanted to address. So randomly, I've had interactions with 5 different people that just have nothing to do with each other, all that were talking about my motivation. And it was something that I found surprising because you don't normally think about your own motivation when you're just so into doing something. You just kind of do it and don't really, I guess I don't really think about what other people think about when it comes to my motivation. I just kind of do the stuff that I really like to do. Pretty much all the people were asking me, how do you stay motivated? And I was like, I kind of just do it. I mean, yeah. I think that ever since high school, when I got into photography and videography a lot, I think things have just been extremely busy since then. I mean, I've always sought out projects to do. I've always loved taking pictures. I've always liked making videos, whether it was for the school at the time or once I graduated from a YouTube channel. And I've really just always been the type of person that's really just loved the things that I do. And if I love it, I'm gonna put my entire heart into it. Music is also another one of those things. And so since I'm able to combine video and music, it's just, I don't even know, the motivation is just through the roof for me because it's just something that I love doing. And I think that's really the key for something. If you're really looking to be motivated about doing something like a project, if you don't really like it, then you're not going to be motivated to do it. I mean, music, photography, videography, those are things that I love to do. I would do that even if people weren't paying me. And a lot of times people aren't paying me, which is why I love, you can see, that I actually love doing it, just because I put my heart into it whether or not people are looking or not. Speaking of people are looking, I think at the time of recording this video, last week's episode has 18 or 20 views. Just for example, my family went on vacation 2 weeks ago. Meaning that I've been playing catch up ever since because we didn't get back until that Friday. That means I had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to film last week's show because the shows are supposed to come out on Wednesday. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday night, I stayed up most of the night. And Tuesday and Wednesday, I was up till 7 a.m. both nights. People don't know that. People don't really care, to be honest. I've always told people are never going to care about your projects as much as you care about your own projects. And I don't do the things that I do or make the things that I do for views. I make them because I'm very passionate about them. I love working with other people, whether it's videos like Good Morning Baltimore or The Greatest Showman or some of the mini covers that I've done. I mean, I've done Scared to Be Lonely with Jenica. I've done Hello with Kyla. I've done so many videos that I've done, and they're all just for fun because I enjoy the things that I make. I love music, I love photography, I love videography, and sure, I would love those things to become a job. I have my own business and I work with other photography businesses. I would love to do photography and videography for myself full time. That would be amazing. I would love to be an actor. I would love to be on Broadway. I would love to be a singer. I would love to do all of these things professionally for money, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, you don't get anywhere without hard work, and I'm doing it because I like it. And yeah, I guess that's just kind of where you gotta start. Some of the people that I was talking to wanted the motivation that I had, and I just have to say, if you want what I have, deep down, find something that you truly love. Whether people are going to watch it or not, whether people are going to pay for it or not, whether people are going to even understand why you're doing what you're doing. I mean, sometimes people just don't get it. Honestly. If I told some people, well, I have told a lot of people now, but when people hear you stayed up till 7 a.m. multiple nights in a row for a video that got 20 views in its first week, they wouldn't get it. They literally wouldn't get it. And sometimes I don't even get it. Just being honest. Sometimes I even have to stop and think, why do I do what I do? The only breaks I've really taken from YouTube have been when life just got extremely crazy, or if I was working on another big project. I think the first year I did YouTube from that first May when I graduated high high school to like last May. Yeah, that would have been last May. I did 52 videos in 52 weeks. They all weren't like one a week. They all weren't two a week. Because when I started YouTube, I used to do 2 videos a week. Then I realized I was insane when college started, and so I went to 1 video a week and, you know, alternated. But like sometimes I missed weeks, which was like no fault. Like it's just life happened. But I made 52 videos in 52 weeks, and that was great. Second year, from last May to this May, nah, that didn't happen. I'm now in my 3rd year. I know that's definitely not gonna happen. But last year, like this second year of YouTube, the only real breaks I took was when I did my stand-up show, which like I wrote, performed, did all of that. Or when college got like extremely crazy. I think at the end of the year I took a little bit of a break, but it was like an unspoken break. It was just kind of like, we're gonna hold this off. And then I came back in January and February with a bunch of videos, and then I stopped making videos randomly after like February, and that was just because I was writing my musical, and I knew for a fact that I could not work 2 jobs, write a musical, and produce high quality YouTube content. It just wasn't gonna happen, and so one thing had to go. And I knew that if I was coming back with at least a portion of a musical like written, and then I could come back to YouTube, I knew that was the best option. So I did that. But through it all, I've pretty much stayed motivated the entire time. Sure, I've made videos that I was hoping would get a lot of traction. Like one of the videos that I really thought was, this is sharing a lot, but one of the videos that I really thought was gonna do extremely well, and it didn't really do as well as I was hoping it would, was I Have a Dream. The Martin Luther King rap that I did, I turned Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech into a rap song. And I put it out on MLK Day, and I was hoping that it was gonna do far better than it did. It didn't, but hey, I still had fun making the video. I love that song, and it's got a great message, and it's got his words like from his actual speech, like the audio clips inside it. So I can just watch that back and just get the feeling that I had again when I watched the original, well, when I made it originally, just because like that real piece is like actually there. And so, you know, things happen, but I don't know. But yeah, if you want the motivation that I have, find something that you're extremely passionate about, that you're gonna do, and that you're gonna love, regardless of what anybody says, what anybody thinks. And yeah, I mean, best luck to you. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare. You are living hope. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free, where my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. I am not alone. I am not alone. You will go before me. You will never leave me. I am not alone. I am not alone. You will go before me. You will never leave me. Take a look at the mountain, stretching a mile high. Take a look at the ocean, far as your eye can see. And think of me. Take a look at the desert. Do you feel like a grain of sand? I am with you wherever. Where you go is where I am. I love you more than the sun and the stars that I taught how to shine. You are mine and you shine for me too. I love you yesterday and today and tomorrow. I'll say it again and again. I love you more than the sun and the stars that I taught how to shine. You are mine and you shine for me too. I love you yesterday and today and tomorrow. I'll say it again and again. I love you more. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence. I am not alone. I am not alone. You will go before me. You will never leave me. I am not alone. I am not alone. You will go before me. You will never leave me. So last week for First Things First, I went to a concert. No biggie. This week, I'm doing something even cooler. So I have a friend named Jessica. Jessica is cool on so many different levels, but one really cool thing that Jessica does is she rides horses. And today, she's gonna let me ride hers. This is Alice, and I pray to God she likes me.
So the first step in grooming a horse is the curry comb.
Oh.
And this is for getting the caked mud and dirt off of her.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually use the softer side. But what you do is you just go in a circular motion and it gets all of that dirt off.
Okay. So the first step was brushing her off. She showed me how to do it, and I did it. Easy enough, right? And it was. Until Jess shared with me this very small tidbit of information.
Fair warning. She likes her butt scratched so much that she will follow you around with it.
Oh.
Don't think that she's trying to kick you. She's not. She just wants you to scratch her butt.
Duly noted.
She's a goofball.
You meaning to tell me that the one time I try and ride a horse, I get one with butt attachment issues? Okay, look, Alice, you're a really nice horse. But this is moving too fast. I mean, we just met. I just got here like 5 minutes ago and now you follow me around with your butt. I'm just kidding, it was perfectly fine. Next, we used the hard brush to get all the remaining dirt and mud off of Alice. Everything was going great. Perfectly fine.
And the key with this is just to go in the direction that the fur is going on her body.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the weirdest spots as far as hair flow. It does this.
Oh. Whoa. So go like that?
Yeah, sure. It's pretty weird. That's what their hair does.
Next, we moved on to brushing her tail.
Feel how coarse this is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like super thick. Each hair is really thick.
Yeah.
Normally, you're not really supposed to stand right here riding the horse. You're supposed to kind of stand to the side, like over here.
Okay.
She's not going to kick you. She's never kicked anybody in her life.
Oh, that's nice.
So, in general, if you're around horses that you don't know, probably stay away from the rear end.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Some horses can be really touchy about you being directly behind them because a horse's vision, the way it works, is their eyes are on the side of their head.
Mm-hmm.
They can see almost 360. Their two blind spots are directly behind and directly in front.
Oh, wow.
If a giant bug flies straight at them and hits them in the forehead,
Then
sometimes they'll be like, blah!
And then her mane. So it's going straight down.
Yep.
All that.
And you don't have to be super gentle about it because it's not like human hair.
Oh.
Horses don't actually have nerve endings in their roots.
Ah, okay.
So it doesn't hurt them. It just causes some slight pressure.
Oh, well that's good. Like human hair, humans would be screaming right now, but
Oh yeah.
After the mane, Jess showed me how to clean a horse's feet, which is very important, especially if the horse has shoes. Mud, dirt, and rocks packed into their feet can really make them sore. She showed me how to do it, and then I tried. Oh, wow. Okay, that's
cool. And then reach down and hold under her actual hoof.
There.
Yep.
Okay.
So that
this side and this side.
Yeah. I'm pretty impressed because most people think they have to like barely do anything, not touch the horse's foot because the horse's foot is sensitive or whatever.
Well, what you do? Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Now it was time to saddle up. First came the saddle pad. I didn't even really think about this being a thing, but she was telling me that if the horse isn't standing up straight, then the saddle will sit crooked, which, now that I think about it, is really common sense, but it's not even something I considered. The saddle pad sits right on her withers, which is basically the equivalent of shoulder blades to help distribute the weight. Then came the actual saddle. She explained to me that she rides English, Western, and bareback, but since English was the easiest to control, we will be riding that today. Look, whatever makes me not fall off, go for it. We finished hooking up the saddle, then moved on to the bridle.
Then you just put your hand over their head, hold on to the top of the bridle with this hand, and then just ask for them to take the bit with that hand.
Oh.
And she'll open her teeth, and you can slide it between her teeth. And then that goes over their ears. That's why we call it a bridle path, because the bridle goes right here.
Ah, yep, makes sense.
Come here. And now that it's on, then these straps go on the inside. And once that's straight, and then this buckles behind her chin.
She told me a little about the different types of bridles and how Western bridles don't normally include nose bands, while English bridles, like the one we had, do because they help with more control. Once again, whatever makes me not fall off, I'm good.
And then this is the throat latch, and for this bridle, since it's a little bit big on her, I go all the way to the top of it. But the idea is you don't want it to be too tight because it's around their throat. So what most people say is you have to be able to fit 3 fingers between throat latch and their throat.
Soon after, I was deemed worthy of a helmet. The time has come. Okay, so mounting the horse. Mounting was one of the easier tasks because she had a stepping stool. I mean, I didn't exactly feel epic climbing the stairs to a horse like a little kid, but it was also better than the other option of trying to literally scale the side of a horse as an adult. So, I sucked it up and climbed the stairs. I think the biggest problem, just to start off, was that I couldn't see the stirrups, you know, the things you're supposed to stick your feet into. I was kind of just fishing around over the edge because I was too scared to like lean over because I didn't want to fall off the horse. I mean, I know falling off of a horse is way better title, thumbnail, clickbait, but I'm sorry. I actually care about my health and well-being, unlike some of these other YouTube stars that are out here eating Tide Pods. But that's none of my business. After my feet found their place, I began to move like lightning, like so fast you could barely even see me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, they could actually see the footage. They can see that I was moving as slow as molasses. Slower than molasses. I'm sorry. We were barely moving. But honestly, that didn't even matter to me. I was doing it. I was riding a horse, and this was one thing to mark off of my imaginary bucket list. Then I actually began to move a little faster, which actually wasn't that hard. Then we escalated the game a little bit into something called posting, which is when you match your bounce to the bounce of the horse. After a little while, I decided that I wanted Jess to show me a few things, and so I wanted to get off. Which was exactly when I questioned, how do I get down?
Okay, so you're going to lean forward over her neck, swing your other leg over her back.
Oh,
behind
over that. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
You can put your weight on the stirrup.
There we go.
And step down.
Oh! Oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, it's not too hard.
Okay, cool. And now, the master takes mount.
So this is how you get on. You don't have a mounting block. You grab the reins with this hand.
Uh-huh.
Also grab some of their mane. Put your foot up in the stirrup. And swing over.
The work of a professional. Okay, cool. She properly displayed some of the things that I had tried to do, and actually makes them look really easy, which makes sense if you're a master. For example, posting. She also explained how you have to change your pattern based on the direction of the horse. She even showed me how she's trained Alex to steer with only foot pressure instead of using the reins. Or even slow down by just sitting back.
Beyond the trot, there's also the canter. Canter's pretty fun, so I'll show you a little bit of that here in a minute.
Okay.
Trying to decide, I guess I probably shouldn't take her over a jump today because she just had her feet done and it's wet. So, I'm not going to do that today, but I do that.
She showed me the difference between Alice trotting in a normal position and a frame position, which is actually more healthy for her and used in competitions. Two of the final things she explained to me were the sitting trot, and that in competitions sometimes they ask them to go from walking to cantering, which seemed even complicated for Jess, so imagine me trying to do that. It just wouldn't happen. It literally wouldn't happen. It was really cool getting to do something like this for the first time. I have always wanted to ride a horse, but it was never something that I thought about doing, and she made it really easy to do, and I'm very glad that she was the person that helped me through this milestone. Also, shout out to Alice for not throwing me off. So this week's photo of the week is actually something that's really cool. My family, you've all heard by now, my family went to Florida a couple weeks ago, and this picture was taken in Orlando, Florida. The funny story behind this thing is, I saw this Ferris wheel, and we were walking around and all that, and I saw across the street that there was this giant street, and then there was a direct view to where somewhere I could stand and take pictures of the Ferris wheel at night. I was like, that's what I want to do when the sun sets. I want to get a long exposure shot of all the cars going in front with the Ferris wheel still lit up and all of that. Problem is, if you know anything about photography, you typically need a tripod if you're trying to do long exposure shots. Well, I didn't have a tripod or a monopod or anything really. I literally had just brought my camera and I was just there to take pictures. I wasn't really gonna do a lot of video, so I didn't think about bringing a tripod. There was, however, a solution. My little brother. So some of you may know my brother. Some of you may go to school with my little brother still. One thing you probably know about my brother is that he doesn't really care about a lot of things. And one of those things that he doesn't care about is my photography. He doesn't really care about it. But I somehow convinced him to walk a long way from where we were back to the Ferris wheel to get across the street and do all of that stuff. It was actually kind of a trek. But we made it all the way across there and I was like, crap. I don't have a tripod. I did, however, have his head. That sounds pretty bad. It was still attached to his body. So I stood on top of the curb and I had him stand on the ground. And so I sat my camera literally on top of his head and I had him stand perfectly still, barely breathing. I had him hold his breath. And so he wouldn't because that makes a difference, because if you don't know anything about long exposure, essentially you're leaving the aperture open for a very long time so all the light can come through, meaning that if you bump it, everything's gonna look blurry because you're letting in more light. So it's a process. But basically, you have to have really still. Couldn't have it really still without a tripod, so his head had to do. So he had to stand perfectly still like a tripod. And this was the result. It was great. We were standing there taking pictures for actually probably 10 minutes. It was literally 10 minutes. And we were just on the side of the road just waiting, taking pictures as cars were going by. And it was great. And then I got all the pictures I wanted, and yeah, it was great. So this photo of the week has a very funny backstory to it, but it's a photo I won't ever forget. So that's all for this week. We started with a little motivation, then we went to a mashup of Christian songs, then we learned about me riding a horse for the first time, and photos of the week. If you liked what you got this week, make sure you like and subscribe and share this show, because I want this show to grow in viewers and everything. Even though I talk about it in my motivation thing, I would still like for people to watch. I'm gonna keep making the show, but I would love for more people to watch and to gain a new audience and gain new subscribers, because I want to impact people. With that being said, remember that God loves you, and so do I. I'll see you next time.